Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's CozyCrochetMonster, and today we're going to be making a simple infinity scarf. So an infinity scarf, if you didn't know, is just a scarf that's in a circular shape and you can just wrap it around your neck instead of a typical scarf of just being one long strip and then you wrap it around your neck. So for this, you're going to need a 5mm crochet hook. And then for yarn today, I'm going to be using these 3 balls by Big Twist. I don't think I'll need all of them, but I just wanted these colors. It is Big Twist Recycled Acrylic Renewal. So it's made out of reused acrylic, and there are 290 yards in each of them. So you're definitely not going to need this much. It's a lot, but I do want to just point out that this is a size 3 light. This is just for me, so depending if you're just going to be using a regular size 4 acrylic yarn, it might be a bit bigger, and then you might want to up your hook about size and a half, so you can do a 5.5 or a 6mm hook, depending if you want how loose you want your stitches to be. This calls for actually a 4.5, so I moved it up to a 5, so it's nice and loose. Okay, and then you will lastly need a needle and some scissors. Okay, to get started, you're going to make a slip knot. Put that on your hook. Okay, so because I have thinner yarn, I'm going to be chaining a fairly large amount. You can do the exact same of what I'm doing, but this pattern is just a simple thing, or it's just a simple pattern of we're going to be chaining, we're joining it, so it's a giant loop, and then we're just going to be crocheting all the way around. So depending on how big you want it to be, you might want to up your stitch count. So I'm going to start with 200 chains. So yes, that is a lot, but as you can see, my stitches are really small, and even crocheting very loosely, it's going to take a while to get it around your neck at a comfortable length that you can wrap it around once or twice or 3 times. That's what I like for my scarves. So this is kind of just a customizable pattern. It's really fairly simple, but this is just a guide, so you're just going to chain however much you want, which is going to take a little while, and then you're going to join in your first chain back in the front, and then you're just going to start crocheting. So let me just finish up my chains and I'll get back to you. Okay, so I just finished my 200 chains, and it's a lot. There it is, all 200 of them. So this is huge, and you may be thinking that this is too much, but remember that this may seem really big, but I want to be able to wrap it around my head at least twice. So when you're making it, you might want to try it on over your head, thinking, okay, is this wide enough that it's not going to be too close to my neck? And I could even make this longer if I wanted to do it 3 times, but this looks good for about twice. Okay, like that. So now that you have your chain, it can be however much you want. Because it's going to be kind of customizable, you want to test it on yourself or whoever you're making it for. I will grab an example. So using this as an example, this was one of my other infinity scarves I made. I love the color so much. So this was also a size 3 yarn, so the stitching's quite small, but it's very loose and stretchy. So that's why you kind of want to up the hook so it's nice and loose and stretchy. But it's huge. So I can wrap it around my head, I think, twice. And it gives this lovely, twisted, colorful effect. And that's what makes, an infinity scarf so beautiful, even though it's simple. So that's why I'm striping mine, because once you twist it up, you get all of those colors nice and twisted. So that's what you want it to look like. But this one, because the stitching was so tiny, I think I did around 200, maybe even 250 chains. So it's a lot of stitches, but you want it to be nice and big, so it fits around your head comfortably and it looks beautiful. Oops, okay, so going back to your chain. Okay, so make sure you don't get yours all tangled, but you're going to want to go back through and just kind of flatten it out so all the chains are facing up towards you. And just keeping it consistent because it's all wrapped around and twisted. Just going all the way down, making sure it's not twisted or anything. You can kind of let that go because we know it's been untwisted and everything. Oops, see? There we go, let me go back. There. So I've gotten to the end, and I know if I pull this out, it's all facing one direction. You can't really see my arms are like spread all the way across my desk. So then you're going to want to bring it back together with it all facing up like that, making sure nothing's twisted. Because once you start crocheting, you're not going to want to, you know, figure out that halfway it's all twisted and then you have to undo it. It has happened to me before and it's not very fun. Okay, so now, let me just move that over. So now having it laid out and you know it's not going to get all twisted, you're going to slip stitch into the end of the chain. So you're going to want to lay it down so that it's like you're about to just work right into it. So you're going into your hook, yarn over, and pull through, just like that, okay? So now you have one giant loop. So then you're going to chain one and half double crochet right back into the same stitch. So this pattern, I'm using the half double crochet stitch because it's my favorite, and it makes it nice and loose, and it's not as tight as the single crochet but has more structure than the double crochet. And then you're just going to half double crochet all the way around. Simple as that. So when you're going through, just make sure that you're getting all of your stitch and it's only the top of it. Okay, so I'm just finishing up my row. I'm going to work into my last stitch right here. Okay, so that is the end of my row. And let me just lay this out for you guys. So there it is. So that's what it looks like for right now. So to start row 2, you're just going to half double crochet right into that first half double crochet that we made. So skip that chain 1 and just go right into it. So it will look a little weird because you're kind of jumping, but as you keep going row after row, it'll look better and it'll even out. But so now you're just going to keep half double crocheting all the way around until you get to your desired height. I'm going to do a couple of rows and then show you when I change color, and then I'll be set and I'll just finish up my scarf. Okay, so I've just finished my 9th row and my scarf measures, oops, 3 inches long. So this is going to be my first color, and then I'm going to switch to this purple and then to this raspberry. So I'm just going to show you how I will change my colors each time. So if you would like to, you may do that as well, or if you have a self-striping ball of yarn, you can just continue until your desired length, or if you just want to do it in one solid color, that's cool too. So I'm going to snip off my yarn about, I would say, 2.5 inches. And this is just so I can weave it in later. Okay, close those. And then I'm just going to pull my loop through like that and just entirely release it. So this method is called the invisible fasten. It's where you can join it and make it look like it's seamless, which is really helpful since we're not joining every row, so it's not even, as you can tell. So I'm going to thread up my needle. This is why you want it to be a little bit longer. Then I'm going to bring it up here. You're going to go in the back of the next stitch, come through the front, like that. And then you're going to come back up and go through the very front, so from the center to the front of that ending stitch, just like that. And so that kind of makes it look like it's a little invisible stitch, but it's not actually the stitch. And then you're just going to want to pull it really tight. So kind of tightens that up here, as well as tightening that little knot. And then you can just go in and sew it into the back of your stitches. So just like that. So now it kind of makes it a little bit more flattened out. It still looks a little wonky, but it looks a little bit better. Okay, so taking my new yarn, I'm going to start from the center, or not, okay. We'll just start from the outside. And I'm going to join my yarn with a slip knot. So I'm just going to back up on the stitches a little bit back here, join with a slip stitch just so it's a little bit cleaner. And I'm not making all of those weird joins and ends in the same place. Then I'm just going to half double crochet in the same stitch, and I'm off. So just going around once more in every stitch all the way around until your desired length. So it can be a little tricky going back over these stitches. So you gotta find where the actual stitch is and not the join. So it looks like it's right about here. Oops. There we go. And then I'm just going to keep working all the way around. Okay guys, I'm just finishing up my row, and then I'm going to be done with my scarf. So just a few more stitches. So once you've reached your desired height, you can try and get back around to your same starting point. So I've been using this little tail to tell where my starting point was. It's kind of shifted a little bit over time, but just so it's in a, the general vicinity. So once you're done, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I have 27 rows total, and it measures approximately 9 inches. So my previous scarf, it's a bit larger just by like a row or two, but it doesn't have to be, so yeah, it's 9.5 inches. But as long as it's a good thick width that you like. But this, the pink and purple one is a bit longer than my coffee one, I like to call it. Okay, so once you're done, you're just simply going to weave a bit of a tail, cut your yarn, there you go, and then you're just simply going to pull it through. So we're using the invisible fasten, so you don't yarn over and pull through, you just pull through. So it makes it a little weird, but then you can invisible fasten it off so you can't really tell where it joined. So I'm just going to thread up my needle because I'm also going to weave in this end. So I'm going to take it and go behind, so from back to the front, from the next stitch, or into the next stitch. And then I'm going to go in the middle of my stitch I just made and come out the front. So I'm only using that front loop and just pull it through. And so basically that just mimics the look of another stitch. So you can kind of tell it's a weird little bump, but it kind of evens it out in a way. But also this is going to be wrapped around your neck, so you're not really going to tell. And then I'm just going to pull it through to the back and weave it in. So once you've woven it in, you can just snip your tail. Then also, if you have any other tails inside your scarf, you can go ahead and weave those in, and then your bottom tail. So I'm just going to do that real quick and I'll show you when it's finished. Okay, so I finished sewing in all of my ends, and here, let me twist it up so you can see what it looks like on, like, as a scarf. So that's what that beautiful scarf looks like. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and please consider liking and subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!